Hello and welcome to Euractiv's EU Tweets of the Week. Vaccine diplomacy is going très mal, massive boat gets stuck in the Suez canal, and lockdown is a blow to everyone's morale. This week we are supported by MedTech Europe. More about them later on. Remember when Brexit was all we had to worry about? No, me neither. Vaccine battles have firmly taken over as the grim topic of every week. And so, in this week's developments. On Wednesday, the European Commission extended the scope of its export mechanism, introducing reciprocity and proportionality. So, what does that mean exactly? Well, whatever you do, don't call it an export ban. Spokesman Eric Mamer clarified, reciprocity means asking whether the destination country restricts its own exports of vaccines or their raw materials by law or other means. We're looking at you, UK. But by that evening, a thaw was on as the EU and UK issued a joint statement on vaccines, promising to work together to deliver a win-win situation. But then, 29 million doses of the AstraZeneca vaccine were found hidden in Italy after Italian authorities were tipped off by the European Commission. Were they destined for the UK or Belgium or COVAX countries? To be continued. AstraZeneca's CEO says 30 million doses found hidden in Italy aren't even mine. I was looking after them for a friend. Don't tell my mum, reported Le Choux. Elsewhere, about 10% of world trade has been at a standstill for 2 days after a frankly ridiculously large cargo ship managed to get itself stuck in the Suez Canal. Truly, it is 2021 in one image. Matthew Champion noted that it took a circuitous route to disaster. We are all in our own little way that ship, said Chaz Hutton. Burley Monster imagined the Commission taking some glee. See, it's not easy steering a massive unwieldy vehicle, is it? Quite. Many people also shared this pic of two men and a digger looking rather ineffectual. Cue new Twitter account registration. Guy with the digger at Suez Canal. Twitter, this is why we love you. Update, managed to dig out good part of the bulbous thingy. It's still stuck. And American EU dude can just make out the B-post markings on those containers. This episode is sponsored by MedTech Europe. MedTech Forum is taking place in April, so discover the latest business trends from the industry's thought leaders by following the hashtag MTF2021. In Germany, plans for a hard lockdown from 1st to the 5th of April were dropped in a dramatic U-turn by the government. Chancellor Angela Merkel admitted the failed plan was her mistake in a rare climb down amid massive criticism of the government's pandemic response. The Taz went with the Merkel Culpa headline. Bruno Mackay's asked who would have guessed that the most politicised and chaotic COVID policy process would be found in Germany. Meanwhile, in Belgium, new restrictions mean non-essential shops will be open only by appointment, no more than groups of 4 can meet outdoors, and hairdressers and beauty salons will close entirely. Beatrice Rios remarked, by the time I can go to the hairdresser, I'm going to look like Rapunzel. Getting a haircut last week was a stroke of genius, said a smug Sam Morgan, but Frédéric Moreau looks on the bright side. I can't get a haircut, then I can get this delivered. That's it for this week. We're taking an Easter break next week to go wild and do, well, absolutely nothing. So join us again in 2 weeks.